It's Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. Last hour, Ashley Pisarcik and members of the Indiana County Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Task Force were with us. One of the members of that group who was not with us last hour is with us this hour with a different hat on, Jessica Clark from the Care Center of Indiana County. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's good to have you in the studio once again. I know that as we begin the month of April, not only is it Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Month, Awareness Month, but there's a special Children's Child Abuse Month
Correct, yeah.
coming up, too, for the month of April.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and this is a big event for the Care Center because we focus on kids who have been affected by abuse, physical, sexual, neglect, all of those issues. So April is sort of the month of hope, the month of spring, and so we wanted that month to celebrate kids who have been affected by abuse. And as part of our campaign, we use the pinwheels, and we like pinwheels because pinwheels symbolize hope and innocence for these kids. Something that we wanted very much to focus on. Once a kid has been affected by abuse, it really affects their entire life. And we wanted to sort of celebrate that there is still hope for them and their future. Yeah.
So the pinwheels will be displayed on the front lawn of the courthouse.
Correct, yes. Pinwheels are going up on Monday, and I think that's April 2nd, Monday. They will go up Monday at 9 a.m. in front of the courthouse. They will be up in front of the courthouse for the entire month of April. On Friday, April 6th at noon, we are going to have our pinwheel planting ceremony.
Okay.
And that is where we invite a lot of our sponsors, people in the community, anybody who wants to come out and support these kids who have been affected by abuse.
Yeah.
We will have the district attorney, Pat Doherty, speaking. I will be speaking. We will have members from our board. And I think we're just going to focus on these kids and what we can do as a community to support them.
And that's going to be a noontime ceremony, correct?
12 o'clock in front of the courthouse. We're going to have our big sign up that honors our corporate sponsors, and we're going to have our pinwheels, which are really cute. We're going to have them planted in the ground in front of the courthouse.
Yeah. And while that commemorates and memorializes, salutes those children and supports those who have been victims, there's another purpose, of course, and that is to draw attention to the problem of child abuse and to maybe encourage others to not be silent about a very, very serious problem.
Correct. We've seen our statistics go up and up every year at the Care Center. We've seen the reports increase in our community. We've been increasing the number of forensic interviews that we do for children and the services that we provide. And I don't think that that's a result of a lot more abuse happening in the community. I think that's a result of people being more comfortable talking about it and reporting it.
And that's a very important point because sometimes you see numbers go up and you say, oh my, there's some new problem that has cropped up, but it's been there all along.
Yes.
It's just been hidden a little bit by maybe reluctance to come forward, fear,
exactly.
all of those different factors.
And I think now because there's been so much publicity about it and we've really made a push, not just here in Indiana County, but in the state and across the country, to recognize that this is a serious problem and that you should report it. Historically, people have been very uncomfortable talking about abuse because there's sort of this perception that it doesn't happen, but it does, and we need to protect these kids who can't necessarily protect themselves. So I think people are coming forward more and reporting it more, and we're hopefully getting these kids in time so that they can still have a good future.
And one of the points that you have made when you've been with us in the past is defining child abuse has evolved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There are new laws in the state of Pennsylvania. A lot of people in their capacity in their jobs are mandated reporters, and they're not just mandated reporters when they're at work, they're mandated reporters after hours as well. So we do a lot of training in that aspect, when it is child abuse, how to report child abuse. We encourage everybody, if you know something's happening, you can report it in the state of Pennsylvania, and you can do it anonymously by calling Childline. And I do have that number here. Let me pull that up for you. The number is 1-800-932-0313.
Give that one more time.
1-800-932-0313. You can call and be anonymous, and you can make the report.
Yeah. Now, when people are in contact with children, when we think about that, who are the people most in contact with children? Obviously, the schools. They see them every day. Schools
see them. Churches see them. Sports and activities see them. And a lot of times family members see them. A lot of times you see things happening in your own family that you may not be comfortable reporting. Sometimes it might be nieces and nephews. Sometimes it might be cousins. And, people are reluctant to come forward because maybe the perpetrator is somebody that they know. And so they're very reluctant to report it. But you can call Childline and you can make the report and you can remain anonymous.
Yeah. And that's a very important consideration because that can tear apart a family. It will tear apart a family.
Absolutely. It's very hard, especially when it's somebody that you might be really close to. But I think you have to keep in mind what's in the best interest of that child. It can make a lot of difference. The sooner you report it, the sooner you get that child into services, that child has a much brighter future.
With the understanding that children are defenseless and you become their defense.
Absolutely. You can become their hero. And, this April, Child Abuse Prevention Month, what we really want to focus on is that, in Indiana County, there are kids that have been affected by abuse. We know this because we work with them. We do the forensic interviews at the care center. So we know what the numbers are. And what we want to do, though, is we want to say, you know what, we're going to celebrate hope for these kids. We're going to look at this and say, you guys, you still have a bright future in front of you. So that's, again, why we like the pinwheels.
Yeah. That is one event that is coming up next week, but it's the beginning of a month, and I'm sure that either you with the Care Center and your direct involvement or other child advocacy groups are going to do things through the course of the month of April to draw attention to the problem of child abuse.
Absolutely. The pinwheels aren't just a symbol of hope for these kids. This is also a fundraiser for the Care Center, and we're selling these pinwheels. You can make a donation to the Care Center. You can still get a pinwheel. And all of the money that is raised from this event goes directly to the kids affected by abuse in Indiana County. That money stays here for our kids. It doesn't go anyplace else. We will be doing public outreach. If you look at our Facebook page, we have been doing messages about how to address abuse, some tips for parenting, how to be a better parent. We offer classes. We offer a free nurturing parent group to the community that you can come in and take. It's a 12-week course that talks about parenting, anger management, discipline, child development, all those things that become important when you become a parent, but nobody really tells you.
Yeah. People at home right now listening saying to themselves, all right, I'd like to do that. I'd love to support the kids in some way and do what I can to combat child abuse. What do they need to do to get a pinwheel?
There's a couple of things you can do. You can call the Care Center. Our phone number is 724-463-8595. You can also go onto our Facebook page, and we have a form on our Facebook page that you can print off, and it gives you all the directions on how to buy a pinwheel. We sell the small ones for $20, 3 small ones for $50, or a large one for $100. If you're not particularly comfortable with the internet or the computer, you can always just mail it into our office. We are located at 125 North 5th Street, Indiana, Pennsylvania, 15701.
Now, should somebody show up at the event next Friday?
Absolutely. We have pinwheels on hand because we have learned over the years that people decide spontaneously to come and join us for the event, which we love. And you can buy pinwheels right then and there at the event. And we will also have cookies on hand. We're going to have pinwheel cookies this year.
Oh.
So come and celebrate with us, get your pinwheel and get your cookie.
And the pin will stay up all month, right?
The pinwheel stay up for the entire month of April, and then at the end of April, we will be doing a healing gathering where we get together and we pull down the pinwheels and we offer it as a service for people who have survived abuse. Something as, sort of celebrating their recovery and moving on.
Tremendous, tremendous. Jessica, thank you so much for coming in this morning. It's such a vital issue, a very, very important issue to understand that children here in Indiana County are subject to abuse just as they are everywhere else.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
It's Indiana in the Morning, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160.